Hey, I feel like this is what the world need right here, man. What's going on, everybody? God morning. It's your boy Joseph, aka J Cadence, the youngest pastor you know. All for the young adults. That's my aim for the people in my generation. I'm 22. So hopefully, when you all watch these videos, you relate to me. Um, and we can all grow together. So today I wanted to talk to you guys about momentum and what the power of choice has to do with that. I've been on this momentum kick this week because I've been going to the gym for the past couple of weeks, and I've been consistent, thank God. About 2 or 3 times a week I've been going, and some of those times were back to back, and some of those days were spaced out. But either way, I feel good, and I'm on this momentum kick with everything that I'm doing so far in life, not just the gym, but taking time to speak with God every morning, which is important. Ask Him for guidance for the day, ask Him for help for me to control my attitude. I need momentum in that for sure, just like we all do. But the power of choice is largely underestimated. I mean, we don't really understand the ramifications and benefits of our choices. One man's choice to do music changed the whole culture, and that's several men. So I'm not just talking about one, several women. But the choices that people have made, just one choice, has changed history forever. Why? Because the choice that we make, which most likely, of course, will manifest in how we treat people and what we do to inspire people, they will then take what you have put out into the world and relay it. And so it's just a chain effect. So the power of choice is not to be underestimated. King David knew this. He's an ancient king of Israel. He's the one who said, "Today is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it." It's a powerful word, will. Will is not to be confused with want or desire, because what you will do in the future does not always align with your desires, which is a funny thing. Old Apostle Paul of the Christian church, he said, I want to do good, but I can't sometimes. Evil is always following me. And so what we want is very different from what we will do. But will is powerful, and it controls your choices. I want to ask you, where is your will today? Is your will, or should I say, is your desire to go to the gym, but your will is just not there, pushing you to make that choice? And how do you gather up the willpower to do so? Well, I believe that it's proven through history that you need to access something greater than yourself, and you need to think about the bigger picture. You also need to look back. What is the pattern of my life? Is my pattern, I've been hitting the gym and I've gained muscles. I need to continue to gain muscles. And that pushes your will, which pushes your choice. Or is maybe your story is a little bit different. Maybe your story is, man, I'm a little flabby. I've been flabby for a long time. It's hard for me to move around, whatever. I'm getting tired and I take 2 steps. And maybe that's pushing your will, which pushes your choice. What is your history? What is the history that you can think back on to motivate your will into action? What history can you use to motivate your will so that you make the right choices? My history with the gym is, I started working out when I was 14, and the history that caused me to do that was different back then. It was because I was getting bullied and I was really short. So I'm like, no more. But my history now is that I saw results from that, not only physically, but it helped me mentally, and it just made me feel better about myself and about life, because I know I was moving towards something, a better me. And I'm like, it worked for me before. I need to get back to that so I can feel better, so I can look how I want to look, and that is now pushing my will. And I'm also looking forward to say I don't want to be trying to do this when I'm 30 and I got a belly that I know I want to work off, and I'm trying to lower my cholesterol. I want to get this under control now. You feel me? And King David's history was, the Lord saw me through. People tried to kill me, and it didn't work. He delivered me. It is what he said in this writing that he wrote, to make it easier for you to find. It's Psalm, one of his Psalms. It was 118, Psalm 118, and he wrote in this 118th Psalm about all the things that the Lord has done, and not just for him, but for his whole country. And he said, he has delivered me, he has delivered us. Let the descendants of Aaron, which was Moses' brother, if y'all don't know who that is, go read about him in Exodus. He said, let the descendants of Aaron, who know that the Lord's deliverance in the Red Sea and all of that, let them sing of the Lord. And because of their history, David said he did it before, he gonna do it again. And so I can and I will rejoice in this day, because I already know no matter what happens, even if trouble comes to me, the Lord, who is my Father, and all good fathers provide for their children, he's a good father, will get me through. He will get me through. And I'll stop right there. Tomorrow we'll pick up about pain and the motivation of that. Because right now he's saying, yeah, I experienced some pain. The Lord disciplined me. He even said that. But he did not let me die. And he got me through that tough situation, is what he said. So he looked back, and then he looked forward, which is, I love Pastor Stephen Furtick. He talks about this all the time. Look back on God's faithfulness, and then look forward, knowing that he'll do it again. If your heart is in the right position, if your will, my food is to do the will of God, like Jesus said, though. But yes, for real, I hope to be able to say that, for real, one day, my food is to do the will of God. Shout out to Paul Washer, because he preached on that. But he said, Pastor Stephen, he always talks about looking back on God's faithfulness and look forward, knowing he'll do it again, because he's a good father. And when you go forward, believing that your heart is in the desire, in the right position, with desire to keep on seeking God to deliver you in bad times and to continue to make you more grateful in good times, God will do it again. He will do it again. And I'm going to take it a step further and say, don't just look back on God's faithfulness, but look back on what has not worked for you. Seriously. Let that be a motivation too. And say, that didn't work before, so I will not do that again. And look forward knowing that it will not work. I know people say this all the time, but insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. People, it's a whole nother thing. I tell my niece and nephews, hey mom, it's my mom. I tell my niece and nephews this all the time. Don't think that you're going to be the one to do something negative and get a positive result. Don't, just because other people have got off with a murder charge, don't mean you will. Don't be that one, because guess what? They get off and they don't learn, and then eventually it does catch up with them. Maybe not in that murder trial, but eventually it does catch up to them. And it may be the day that they stand before God. Maybe their whole life is just cool and getting away with everything. And then they stand before God and say, "Oh, I mean, you see, I no." I'm sorry. I just made myself. I should laugh at that, but anyway, look back and know and say that didn't work for me. Dating this type of person who's apathetic, selfish, self-centered, only want to be in a relationship for themselves. That didn't work before. It's not going to work in the future. So I hope this has inspired you guys. I totally love you all. I love my generation. I love my 90s babies. I love my millennials, period. I want us to move forward together. Give feedback on this video. If you have things that you've learned, drop that down below. Talk about what you've learned about this particular subject, the power of choice, and how it influences your momentum. Oh, and one last thing, remember this, write this down. Everybody has momentum in life right now, but you're either spiraling up or you're spiraling down. Y'all have a good day.
Why you all acting like you never seen God? Yeah, I asked before, but not too many of y'all made any noise.